Quick disclaimer, this is an AI voice, which is not going to be perfect. There is a transcript in the description as well as subtitles for you to read along with. Liberalism is seen essentially as a product of the Enlightenment, as it recognizes that humans are rational creatures capable of understanding the world and making decisions for themselves. The defining feature of liberalism is its belief in individualism and freedom. There are many ideas and principles that shape liberalism, including individualism, freedom and liberty, the state, rationalism, equality and social justice, and liberal democracy. Individualism is the idea that the rights and needs of each person are more important than the interests of any group or organization. There are two types of individualism, which are egoistical individualism and developmental individualism. Egoistical individualism is the belief that individuals should prioritize their own self-interest and personal gain above anything else. Developmental individualism emphasizes the growth and development of each individual, advocating for a society that supports individuals in achieving their full potential. Based on the idea of individualism, the liberal view on human nature is that individuals are rational beings capable of making their own decisions and pursuing their own interests. Based on the idea of individualism, the liberal view on the economy is that a free market driven by individual choices and competition is the best way to promote innovation, efficiency, and economic success. Based on the idea of individualism, the liberal view on society is that each person should have the freedom to express themselves and pursue their own goals, with society existing to protect these individual rights and freedoms. Based on the idea of individualism, the liberal view on the state is that it should have limited power, serving primarily to protect individual rights and freedoms while allowing individuals the autonomy to govern their own lives without interference. Freedom and liberty is the ability and right of an individual to make decisions in their own interests. Liberals guarantee individual freedom by advocating for limited government intervention and protecting civil liberties. The link between freedom and individualism lies in the belief that personal autonomy and self-expression are essential for individuals to realize their full potential. Freedom is under the law, meaning that individuals have the right to act the way they want, as long as they do not infringe on the rights and freedoms of others, ensuring that laws exist to protect everyone's liberties. Based on the idea of freedom and liberty, the liberal view on human nature is that individuals are inherently rational and capable of making decisions that best serve their own interests. Based on the idea of freedom and liberty, the liberal view on the economy is that a free market allows individuals to pursue their economic goals, leading to innovation and success through voluntary exchange. Based on the idea of freedom and liberty, the liberal view on society is that individuals should have the autonomy to live according to their own values and beliefs, with society structured to protect these personal freedoms. Based on the concept of freedom and liberty, the liberal view on the state is that its primary role is to protect individual rights and freedoms, ensuring that government intervention is minimal and only to prevent harm to others. The liberal view on the state is that it is necessary to avoid disorder, but it has the potential to remove individuals' liberties, so it should be limited. Based on the idea of the state, the liberal view on human nature is that individuals are rational and capable of making their own decisions, requiring minimal state interference. Based on the idea of the state, the liberal view on the economy is that the free market encourages economic activity, with the state intervening to prevent market failures or protect individual rights. Based on the idea of the state, the liberal view on society is that it should be organized to maximize individual freedom and autonomy, with social structures in place to support and protect personal liberties. Based on the idea of the state, the liberal view on the state is that its powers should be limited and clearly defined, ensuring that it provides order and security without infringing on individual freedoms. Rationalism is the belief that humans are rational creatures that are capable of reason and logic. Rationalism explains an individual's ability to define their own best interests by trusting that people can use reason and logic to make informed decisions that benefit their well-being. Rationalism supports an individual's ability to make their own moral choices, believing that humans can decide right from wrong through logical reasoning rather than external authority. Rationalism contributes to creating a progressive society by encouraging the use of reason and evidence-based thinking to challenge outdated norms and encourage social, political, and economic advancements. Based on the idea of rationalism, the liberal view on human nature is that individuals are inherently rational and capable of making reasoned decisions in their own best interests. Based on the idea of rationalism, the liberal view on the economy is that individuals will make logical choices that lead to innovation, efficiency, and overall economic success when free to engage in market activities. Based on the idea of rationalism, the liberal view on society is that social progress is achieved through using reason and logic, allowing individuals to challenge outdated norms and create a more just and fair society. Based on the idea of rationalism, the liberal view on the state is that it should be limited, intervening when necessary to protect individual rights and ensure that all members of society can exercise their rational abilities freely. Equality and social justice is the belief that all individuals are of equal value and that they should be treated impartially and fairly by society. Foundational equality is the belief that all individuals are inherently equal, as they are all human and deserve equal moral worth and rights. Formal equality is the principle that all individuals should be treated equally under the law without discrimination or favoritism. Equality of opportunity is the idea that everyone should have the same chances to succeed, with no barriers based on background, ensuring that personal effort and talent determine an individual's outcome. Based on the idea of equality and social justice, the liberal view on human nature is that all individuals have equal value and should be given equal respect and consideration. Based on the idea of equality and social justice, the liberal view on the economy is that it should be structured to provide fair opportunities for all, ensuring that economic policies do not benefit certain groups more than others. Based on the idea of equality and social justice, the liberal view on society is that it should eliminate discrimination and ensure that all members are treated impartially and fairly, promoting inclusive practices and social equality. Based on the idea of equality and social justice, the liberal view on the state is that it should actively enforce laws and policies that uphold equal treatment and fairness, working to correct social inequalities and protect the rights of every individual. Liberal democracy is a democracy that balances the will of the people as shown through elections with limited government and a respect for civil liberties in society. Liberals support liberal democracy because it ensures that the will of the people is expressed through elections while ensuring individual freedoms and limiting government power to prevent tyranny. Liberals are concerned about liberal democracy because they fear that the will of the majority could potentially infringe on minority rights and civil liberties if they are not checked by institutional safeguards. Based on the idea of liberal democracy, the liberal view on human nature is that individuals are rational and capable of making informed choices, which is reflected in the democratic process where their votes determine the government. Based on the idea of liberal democracy, the liberal view on the economy is that a free market should operate with regulations that protect individual rights, ensuring economic opportunities while maintaining fair competition. Based on the idea of liberal democracy, the liberal view on society is that it should be organized to uphold civil liberties and ensure that all individuals have equal protection and respect, promoting a fair and inclusive community. Based on the idea of liberal democracy, the liberal view on the state is that it should be limited to prevent an overuse of power with a system of checks and balances to ensure personal freedoms and ensure that government actions are accountable to the people. There are two strands within liberalism, each with different views and tensions. These strands include classical liberalism and modern liberalism. Classical liberalism was formed by early liberals who believed that individual freedom would be best achieved with the state playing a minimal role. The classical liberal view on human nature is that individuals are inherently rational and capable of making their own decisions, which justifies the belief that people should have the freedom to pursue their own interests. The classical liberal view on the economy is that it functions best with minimal state interference, allowing free markets and individual enterprise to drive innovation, efficiency, and wealth creation. The classical liberal view on society is that it should be organized around the principle of individual liberty, where people are free to live as they choose as long as they do not harm others, which leads to a diverse and dynamic social order. The classical liberal view on the state is that its role should be limited to protecting individual rights and maintaining order with minimal intervention in the lives of individuals. The classical liberal view on individualism is that each person is a rational and autonomous being who should be free to pursue their own interests and goals without interference from others or the state. The classical liberal view on freedom and liberty is that true freedom means leaving individuals alone to make their own choices with minimal restrictions, allowing individuals to live the way they want as long as they do not harm others. The classical liberal view on the state is that its role should be strictly limited to protecting individuals from harm, ensuring that their rights are respected and maintaining order while avoiding unnecessary involvement in the personal lives and economic activities of individuals. The classical liberal view on rationalism is that individuals are capable of using reason and logic to make decisions that are in their best interests, which supports the belief that people should have the freedom to make decisions themselves. The classical liberal view on equality and social justice is that all individuals should have the same legal rights and opportunities, but the state should not enforce equality of outcome, as this would interfere with personal freedom and the natural differences between individuals. The classical liberal view on liberal democracy is that a government should be based on the consent of the people, with regular elections and checks on power, ensuring that the state remains limited and respects individual rights and freedoms. Modern liberalism emerged as a reaction against free market capitalism, believing this had led to many individuals not being free. Modern liberals had the belief that freedom could no longer simply be defined as a being left alone. The modern liberal view on human nature is that individuals may face social and economic barriers that prevent them from realizing their full potential, which means that there is a need for support systems to ensure true freedom. The modern liberal view on the economy is that it should be regulated to reduce the inequalities and injustices created by free market capitalism, ensuring that economic policies serve the common good and provide opportunities for all. The modern liberal view on society is that a fair society requires active measures to promote equality and protect individual rights, recognizing that true freedom involves not just the absence of interference, but also the conditions that enable all individuals to grow and develop. The modern liberal view on the state is that it should play an active role in ensuring social justice and economic fairness, intervening when necessary to protect the rights and freedoms of individuals, particularly the most vulnerable. The modern liberal view on individualism is that individuals require certain social and economic conditions to truly be free, which means that society must sometimes intervene to ensure everyone has the opportunity to grow and develop. The modern liberal view on freedom and liberty is that true freedom is not just the absence of interference, but also the presence of opportunities, which requires actions from the state to remove barriers and create conditions where all individuals can fully participate in society. The modern liberal view on the state is that it should take an active role in regulating the economy and providing social welfare to correct the inequalities and injustices that come from free market capitalism, ensuring that everyone has a fair chance to succeed. The modern liberal view on rationalism is that individuals may face obstacles that limit their ability to act on their rational decisions, so the state must help create an environment where rational choices can lead to real freedom. The modern liberal view on equality and social justice is that achieving true equality requires more than just equal legal rights, as it requires proactive measures to address social and economic inequalities, ensuring that all individuals have the resources and support they need to achieve their potential. The modern liberal view on liberal democracy is that democracy should protect individual rights and freedoms, as well as ensure that the government works to promote social justice and reduce inequalities, making sure that all voices are heard and that everyone in society is free. There are 5 key thinkers for the liberal ideology. These are John Locke, Mary Wollstonecraft, John Stuart Mill, John Rawls, and Betty Friedan. John Locke was a liberal key thinker with the key theories of social contract theory and limited government. Locke's social contract theory is the idea that society, the state, and the government are based on a voluntary agreement where the people accept certain rules and obligations in exchange for protection of their rights. Locke's theory of limited government is the idea that the government should be limited and based on the consent of the people. John Locke's view on human nature was that humans are inherently rational, capable of cooperation, and have natural rights to life, liberty, and property that must be respected. Locke's view on the economy was that it should be based on private property and free exchange, with minimal state interference, as individuals have the right to purchase and own property through their labor. Locke's view on society was that it is formed by individuals coming together to protect their natural rights, with social contracts ensuring mutual respect and cooperation. Locke's view on the state was that it exists to protect individual rights and its power should be limited, gaining legitimacy only from the consent of the people. Locke's view on individualism was that each person has inherent worth and autonomy, with the right to pursue their own happiness and interests as long as they do not infringe on the rights of other individuals. Locke's view on freedom and liberty was that true freedom means living under laws that protect an individual's natural rights, with individuals free to act as they choose within these boundaries. Locke's view on rationalism was that humans are capable of reason, which allows them to find moral truths and create fair societies. Locke's view on equality and social justice was that all individuals are equal in their natural rights, deserving equal protection under the law and equal opportunity to pursue their interests. Locke's view on liberal democracy was that government should be representative and accountable to the people, ensuring that the state upholds the rule of law, protects individual rights, and serves the common good. Mary Wollstonecraft was a liberal key thinker with the key theories of reason and formal equality. Wollstonecraft's theory of reason is the idea that everyone, including women, are rational and independent beings that are capable of reason. Wollstonecraft's theory of formal equality is the idea that in order to be free, women should enjoy full civil liberties and be allowed to have a career. Mary Wollstonecraft's view on human nature was that all humans, regardless of gender, are capable of reason and moral decision-making and should be educated to fully reach their potential. Wollstonecraft's view on the economy was that it should provide equal opportunities for both men and women, with women being allowed to participate in the economy to achieve independence and self-sufficiency. Wollstonecraft's view on society was that it should be restructured to remove the inequalities that keep women inferior, promoting a culture of equal rights and mutual respect. Wollstonecraft's view on the state was that it has a responsibility to protect the rights of all individuals, including women, and to create laws that ensure equality and justice across genders. Wollstonecraft's view on individualism was that true individualism can only be achieved when both men and women are free to develop their own identities and pursue their own goals without social constraints. Wollstonecraft's view on freedom and liberty was that real freedom involves more than just political rights, as it requires social and economic structures that allow women to live as free and equal citizens. Wollstonecraft's view on rationalism was that women, like men, are capable of rational thought and should be educated to use reason to make informed choices in both public and private life. Wollstonecraft's view on equality and social justice was that society must ensure equal rights and opportunities for women, correcting the injustices that come from fixed gender roles. Wollstonecraft's view on liberal democracy was that a truly democratic society must include the voices of women, ensuring that they have equal representation and participation in government to create an equal society for all. John Stuart Mill was a key liberal thinker with the key theories of the harm principle and tolerance. Mill's harm principle is the idea that individuals should be free to do anything except harm other individuals. Mill's theory of tolerance is the belief that a popular view is not necessarily correct. John Stuart Mill's view on human nature was that humans are capable of personal growth and self-improvement, driven by the pursuit of happiness and the development of their intellectual and moral abilities. Mill's view on the economy was that it should balance individual freedom with social welfare, supporting free markets while also recognizing the need for state intervention to prevent harm and ensure fair opportunities for all. Mill's view on society was that it should promote diversity of thought and lifestyle, allowing individuals to experiment with different ways of living, which in turn leads to a more progressive community. Mill's view on the state was that it should protect individual liberties, only intervening to prevent harm to others while allowing individuals the freedom to pursue their own paths. Mill's view on individualism was that each person should have the autonomy to develop their own character and pursue their own happiness, as long as their actions do not harm others. Mill's view on freedom and liberty was that true liberty means the ability for an individual to act the way that they want, without being constrained by social norms or government interference, except when an individual's actions harm another individual. Mill's view on rationalism was that humans are rational beings who should be encouraged to think critically and independently, as this leads to personal and social progress. Mill's view on equality and social justice was that society must aim for both legal and social equality, ensuring that everyone has the same opportunities to succeed and that injustices are addressed. Mill's view on liberal democracy was that it should be a system that protects individual rights and encourages active participation and debate, ensuring that diverse opinions are heard and that the government remains accountable to the people. John Rawls was a key liberal thinker with the key theories of justice and the veil of ignorance. Rawls' theory of justice is the idea that society must be fair and guarantee each citizen a life worth living. Rawls' theory of the veil of ignorance is the idea that individuals agree on the type of society that they want, but lack the knowledge of their own position in society. John Rawls' view on human nature was that while individuals are rational and self-interested, they are also capable of fairness and cooperation when placed behind a veil of ignorance which ensures impartiality. Rawls' view on the economy was that it should be structured to benefit the disadvantaged, ensuring a fair distribution of wealth and opportunities. Rawls' view on society was that it should be organized according to the theory of justice that everyone would agree to under fair conditions, promoting both freedom and equality. Rawls' view on the state was that it should be neutral, ensuring that laws and institutions are designed to uphold justice and protecting individual rights while also addressing social inequalities. Rawls' view on individualism was that while individuals should be free to pursue their own goals in a system that ensures fairness and equality for all members of society, Rawls' view on freedom and liberty was that true liberty includes the conditions for individuals to pursue their own idea of the good life by ensuring that everyone has equal basic liberties. Rawls' view on rationalism was that individuals would use reason to choose principles of justice that ensure fairness and equality for all. Rawls' view on equality and social justice was that society must be structured so that inequalities are only acceptable if they benefit the disadvantaged, ensuring a fair distribution of resources and opportunities. Rawls' view on liberal democracy was that it should be a system where institutions and laws are designed to reflect the principles of justice and ensure that all individuals have equal rights and opportunities while encouraging a fair and just society. Betty Friedan was a key liberal thinker with the key theories of legal equality and equal opportunity. Friedan's theory of legal equality is the idea that women are as capable as men and that harsh laws and social views must be removed. Friedan's theory of equal opportunity is the idea that women are being held back from their potential because of the limited number of jobs that are acceptable for women, and women should therefore have the same opportunities as men to get a job. Betty Friedan's view on human nature was that women possess individual desires for self-fulfillment, which is prevented by traditional gender roles that confine them to the household. Friedan's view on the economy was that it should provide equal opportunities for women to participate in the workforce, allowing them to achieve financial independence and personal growth. Friedan's view on society was that it maintains limiting stereotypes about women's roles, which must be challenged to create a more just and equal environment where both men and women can pursue their ambitions without social constraints. Friedan's view on the state was that it should create and enforce laws that protect women's rights, ensuring equal opportunities in education, employment, and other areas to achieve gender equality. Friedan's view on individualism was that true fulfillment for women comes from pursuing their own goals and interests, separate from the roles traditionally assigned to them by society. Friedan's view on freedom and liberty was that women should have the freedom to choose their own paths in life without being limited by social expectations. Friedan's view on rationalism was that women are fully capable of making informed decisions about their lives, and that they should be encouraged to develop and use their intellectual abilities to their fullest potential. Friedan's view on equality and social justice was that achieving gender equality requires removing barriers that prevent women from having the same opportunities as men, which will create a society where both genders are treated fairly and can equally contribute. Friedan's view on liberal democracy was that it should guarantee equal rights and opportunities for women, ensuring that they have a voice in shaping the laws and policies that affect their lives, which will create an inclusive and equal society. Thank you for watching this video on liberalism. I'll see you in the next lesson.